Hi there, I'm Jim Vance with 80/20 Endurance, and this is Endurance Insights. Today, we're going to solve the age-old problem for athletes of why did I have a bad workout? Every single athlete at some point has a workout that doesn't go well. What I tend to find is a lot of athletes have this happen too often. And that's just not acceptable, especially if your goals are high. We all participate in endurance sports and work hard for it because we're passionate about it. It's a part of our lifestyle. And certainly that sense of fulfillment is lost when we have bad workouts. So what can you do to make sure that you don't have bad workouts in the future? That's what we're going to talk about today. So why did I have a bad workout is one of the big questions that you got to ask yourself after a bad workout. And the other question you really need to ask yourself is, how frequently am I having bad workouts? If it's happening a lot, then it's something systemic. If it's just once in a random while, then there's probably a reasonable explanation. And today I'm going to give you the 3 reasons why you would have a bad workout. And you can use these 3 reasons to really assess your whole approach to training, your training plan, and determine any adjustments that you may need to make. Before I move on, if you're new here, please subscribe to our 80/20 Endurance channel. You'll get more of this, as well as great tips and insights from our 80/20 Endurance coaches, Matt Fitzgerald, and many others. So, why did you have a bad workout? It really, truly is this simple. It comes down to 3 reasons. The first reason is you simply didn't set yourself up for success. And I'm going to go into each one of these reasons for you a little more in detail. The second, you didn't execute the workout properly. Or number 3, expectations of what was going to happen versus the development of the training systems or the energy systems that you're working on are not in alignment. So let's start with the first reason that you had a bad workout. And that is you probably did not set yourself up for success. What I mean by that is you came into the workout too fatigued to be able to express the fitness that you actually have. It's very simple. A lot of athletes overrun recovery runs or their aerobic maintenance runs and things like that. We can't be overrunning these items or these sessions without carrying additional fatigue to bring into these key sessions. So the way you follow one workout and how well you execute it can affect the next workout, especially if you have them closely timed together. So the fatigue that you carry. But of course, there's other things besides training that can affect fatigue. How did you feel in general? Are you sick? Are you stressed from work? Did you stay up late for a work project or a school project and pulled an all-nighter? Just overtime. All sorts of demands on your time, projects that just leave you fatigued that you can't come into a workout truly prepared for success. You can come into a workout underfueled. If you haven't eaten anything all day and you think you're going to go and do a tempo run or a long tempo effort successfully, that's probably not a good way to set yourself up for success. Mentally and emotionally, have you really prepared yourself to come into a workout? I've seen plenty of athletes intimidate themselves mentally and emotionally on a workout, just almost afraid of it. So they come into it in a state where they simply can't be successful. The way you emotionally and mentally approach a workout can absolutely set yourself up for success or failure. Your attitude can determine a lot. Some athletes are really good at test workouts. Some athletes are not good at test workouts and dread them. So which one are you? How well do you emotionally and mentally approach your workouts? Do you set yourself up for success? Or do you prejudge the workout before you even get there? Well, this is going to go horrible. Well, that's probably not a good way to start off the workout in terms of giving it a successful opportunity. Now, if you recognize that you've come into the workout a little more fatigued, maybe a little underfueled, a little underhydrated. Mentally and emotionally, maybe you need to adjust your expectations of a workout, that's for sure. But we're going to get to that here in a second. The other main reason maybe you didn't set yourself up for success is, of course, the conditions maybe didn't allow for a good performance. For example, if you live in the southern United States or some part of the world where it's extremely hot during the day, and you think you're going to go outside in these extreme temperatures and perform to the best you ever have, or have a great workout, you're really asking a lot of your body. Also, if we come back to the first part of this, coming into workouts fatigued, if you've been doing a lot of workouts in heat or extreme conditions, you can expect that your recovery time will be longer. And therefore, the conditions that you are training in will carry more load than you actually realize. So, the conditions matter. If it's too cold, too windy, and you're really trying to run a good time, but it's all into a headwind, probably not conditions for a very good performance. So it's really important to understand when you come into a workout, did you set yourself up for success, especially if having a good workout is really important to you. Let's talk about reason number 2. You didn't execute the workout properly. And what I mean by that is you poorly paced. If you've been doing mile repeats or K repeats or something of that nature, maybe it's intervals on your bicycle, intervals in the pool. If your first interval or first few intervals are way too fast, well, at some point you have exceeded the body's fitness capacity and you will no longer allow it to be able to sustain the effort because it is still recovering from those early efforts that were just too much for it. So it's important not to exceed the body's fitness capacity. Once you do that, now you are exceeding the fatigue that was intended for a session, which will carry over to your next session most likely. So execution is really, really important. Poor nutrition or hydration to support performance is absolutely a part of execution. So let's say you're training for a half Ironman or a full Ironman or a marathon. If you haven't actually put in the nutrition during the session to set yourself up for those longer or those later time periods in the workout, you're probably going to bonk or fall apart. Or there's kind of this misnomer that people think, well, as long as I get in calories, my nutrition or my pacing doesn't matter. If I just eat, I can go at a higher intensity. There is no nutrition plan that will make up for poor execution and poor pacing. And in fact, the fitter you are, the more margin of error you have. So if I'm very fit, I can probably poorly execute a little bit early on, maybe get out a little too fast and still be able to sustain for a good performance. But the problem becomes the higher your goals get, the more important execution becomes, because that margin of error as the goals get higher gets smaller and smaller and smaller, because your competition is very good, it's very fit and very talented, and they execute well. So if you want to maximize your fitness, you need to learn how to execute effectively and consistently. In my book, Triathlon 2.0, I write that there are 6 keys to high performance. The first 3 are preparation, preparation, preparation. And the last 3 are execution, execution, execution. Your preparation will help build your fitness, but if you execute poorly, there is no game plan or fallback card or get out of jail free card or some type of support that can really overcome poor execution. The best fitness in the world with poor execution still results in a poor result. And the third reason you might have had a bad workout is simply your expectations relative to the development of the energy system. Did your expectations match reality? If your belief is that you can go out and run 3-minute Ks for a half marathon, well, that's 4:48-mile pace. That's really tough, and very few people can do that. Combine that with a tough course, poor conditions, underfueled, you're probably going to struggle. However, in general, if your expectations match the consistency of what you've been doing in your training and you've set yourself up for success, then your expectations should be on point. If you come into a workout and the conditions are not good for a successful workout according to output or performance, maybe you judge it on pace, maybe you judge it on power, whatever. If the expectations don't match the reality of the situation, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. You have to be honest. Is the system developed enough? Have you put in the work that actually shows that you're ready to execute this workout at that output? Are the conditions supporting it? Have you done all the little things? Are you mentally and emotionally ready? Are you fueled well enough? Are you carrying too much fatigue, or are you fresh and ready for it? All of these things happen and are exposed on race day or in the training sessions. And of course, that brings me all back to expectations versus the system's development. The failure to consider reasons number 1 and 2. Did you set yourself up for success? Did you execute poorly? If you did not do those two things, but your expectations of performance are high, you've really just put yourself in a no-win situation. If you're looking to become a coach and get more into coaching or learning how a coach thinks, if you're designing your own training plans and how you can make them better, I would highly encourage you to join us with our 80/20 coaching certification. We've got an amazing community. We have hundreds of coaches with monthly learning and tons of resources to support coaches for growing their business, as well as networking with other coaches. We offer a free preview, so you can go in, check it out, see what you would learn and the value. We also offer benefits such as listings in our coach directories for coaches who want to market themselves, as well as potential employment opportunities and many other things. Hopefully, I'll see you in our coaching certification community. In conclusion, a bad workout can really just simply come down to 3 reasons. Number 1, you didn't set yourself up for success. Whether that's systematically in your approach to training, you're carrying too much fatigue into the session to give yourself the opportunity to have consistently successful workouts, or you're carrying fatigue from something outside of training, such as work and life demands, potentially even sickness. The second reason, you didn't execute the workout properly. Poor pacing, you exceeded your body's capacity to perform, and at that point, it became a downhill situation where there was no way your body was going to be able to perform because of the early execution mistakes you made. This can also be related to nutrition or hydration in long workouts, potentially in hot conditions or things of that nature. And of course, expectations of how the workout should go relative to the actual development of the energy systems that you're working on. If you're getting off the couch for the first time in months, you're probably not going to go out and have great performances. You're returning from injury, probably not going to have your best performances. If you've done it right, though, and you've consistently set yourself up for success, your expectations should be in alignment with what you're actually capable of, and you should have successful workouts then. I'm Jim Vance. This has been 80/20 Endurance Insights. Best of luck in training.